Hello, hello. This is the My Artifact episode number 3862, 62 probably. Yeah. Today's date is February 4, 2026. It's been almost like a morning at 9:28 a.m. All right. Should we jump into the question? Let's go. All right. The question is this niche big enough to support at least 100 meaningful content idea? Okay, that's a really good question. All right, yeah. First of all, what exactly is this question and why am I asking this question to myself? This is YouTube realization question. Means like that I kind of like ask this question to myself so that I would kind of like realize that am I worthy enough to consider myself, am I YouTuber or not? Because of that, now why I need that realization? Because I think that now it's very essential for every YouTuber. Like basically, I don't know how I supposed to explain this thing now. When I ask this question to myself, I would know more about myself. I would know more about my content. I would know more about my content strategy. I would know more about myself. I would know more about am I as a content creator. I would know more about this platform, Instagram or YouTube platform or social media platform. Okay, yeah. So yeah, like that's why I'm kind of like asking this question to myself so that I would understand myself more about am I as a content creator or not. Okay, yeah. So yes, okay. So should we jump into the question? All right, yeah. The question is that ki it's a very kind of like a very deep question. It's not a very deep question, but is this niche big enough to support at least 100 meaningful content idea? No, what is exactly niche? Well, niche is a kind of like a things that na ki I don't know. Some people are kind of like some very like a very like a okay. It's a very hard to explain. It's not hard to explain. It's a kind of like a thing that na ki you kind of like a make a video about something like a comedy or cooking or whatever. So your genre represent your niche. Okay, like this is my niche. Okay, yeah. And when you are into that particular category of video making process, you found multiple ways to execute that piece of genre in multiple ways. Like its example is this thing that ki, let's just say a comedy. Okay, yeah, let's just say I am a comedian. So instead of doing a comedy, instead of doing stand up, okay, yeah, I could execute comedy in a kind of like a sketch format. I could execute a comedy in a kind of like a IRL. What's a IRL? IRL means I don't know. IRL means exactly. Okay, IRL means like that, na ki kind of like somebody like basically in day to day life. Okay, and we are trying to communicate. He didn't really know that it's a kind of like a something. It's a kind of like a vlog properly. Okay, yeah, that you communicate with the people, and when you communicate, it kind of like a became funny. Okay, like there is a one comedian who does that. Name I forgot his name. No, I didn't really forget his. I knew his name. Samay Rena, who is also do the comedy with the IRL style and things and that. Okay, yeah. So this is what kind of like a multiples of idea that you could execute with your own niche or own kind of like a something own category of your video and things and that. Okay, yeah, you can do mix and match. Um, like a tech burner does very differently. Like a tech burner, his a genre is a tech. Okay, yeah, but he execute his piece of content with a little bit fun. Okay, little bit fun and things like that, which is good at some point. It's not good for some point. Like basically what exactly is this enough ki you try multiple things, okay, yeah, regarding about your niche, regarding about things, and you have to experiment with your audience and things and that. Okay, yeah. Now experiment means what? Experiment means what na ki like basically is this thing na ki let's just say I love watch tech videos. Okay, yeah. But I don't want to watch tech video in kind of like a comedy way. No, I don't love that. Maybe I love it maybe when I was a kind of like a somebody maybe like a teenager, but like right now na, I'm kind of like a cross 30. Okay, and I am kind of like a somebody bit more kind of like a somebody matured probably. I wanted to know more about in detail instead of kind of like a stupid laugh and things and that and that. Okay, yeah. So I would not prefer to watch Tech Burner video because Tech Burner video is a tech related but little bit funny. Okay, yeah. I want a kind of like a somebody very serious way to so that I would kind of like a know about that particular stuff and things and that and that. No, is this piece of content is wrong? No, I am the wrong audience. Means like that wrong audience means what na? Like basically is this thing na कि as a creator can make a video regarding about something. Some people like it, some people didn't really like it, and that is true. Okay, social media is not meant to be kind of like a somebody that ki whatever the audience that you have, it stays that audience. No, it's not. It just kind of like a thing is that na you just have to experiment. People love it, people don't love it. You can't control that thing. So you can't control. Like every person kind of like thinks very differently and things and that and that. What should you supposed to do is that ki whatever makes you comfortable. Okay, yeah. Try not to do too much push yourself further. If you are Mr. Beast and you are trying to do yourself push even more further, then you can do this thing because your goal is to kind of like get the higher number and things and that and that. So yeah, you can do this thing. But when you try to do this thing, you leave your comfort zone and you are trying to do something that like a little bit of kind of like something that you don't want to do or you might not love and things and that and that. But that is not the case. Okay, yeah. Sometimes now people love doing something kind of like a very crazy, something kind of very beyond their limitation and things and that because it kind of like push them. As I mentioned, creativity is a kind of like a billions way to execute creativity. Okay, billions of way. Okay, even if you have same category of video, you can execute that same category video in billions of ways. Billions. Okay, yeah. So basically is this thing. And that is true, by the way. It should supposed to be kind of like executed in kind of like billions of ways and things and that because it's a creativity. It's a way of human thought process. The what we actually think and that. Okay, yeah. There are multiples of kind of like some genre are actually exist that I didn't really know is this kind of like some genre, is this kind of like some a category of the video. Okay, yeah. There is a kind of like some weird kind of like a channel. Okay, yeah. In this particular channel, okay, this particular guy, what he does, he just sit in front of the camera like I am sitting in front of the camera. Okay, yeah. And he just stay there for fucking 12 hour, literally 12 hour, like literally there is time is actually going on and he was kind of like a sitting, not doing anything, just sit in front of the camera. I was like, what the fuck was that? Okay, yeah. And another, like literally that video is a 10-hour, dude. It's not kind of like somebody like a time lapse. No, it's just legit video with 1 second, one kind of like you legit feel like that. This video is a kind of like a 10-hour long video, and he just sit in front of the camera. No, there is no AI generated. No, there is no dummy. There is nothing relevant. There is no background change there. Nothing really at all. It's really legit person that who sit in front of the camera doing nothing and kind of like a sitting like. What? Okay, yeah. There is another. Okay, Mr. Beast done kind of like a very crazy thing. Okay, yeah. He kind of like a watch a kind of like a video for 12 hour non-stop. 12 hour. Is this kind of like a particular genre? Is this kind of like a YouTube made of? No, it's not made of. But it kind of like a push people to kind of like a something extreme to its limits and things and that. Is it wrong? Well, sorry. It depends on how you look at. Okay, means like that na ki like basically is this thing, if you think that ki it's not good enough, like it's not good, like basically sitting in front of the camera and doing nothing for 10 hours, it just like it doesn't make any sense in every possible situation, right? But what became right is that ki it represents that this particular person have a strength to sit in front of the camera doing nothing. Okay, kind of like a became bored and things and that. Is it kind of like a creativity? I don't know, but it sparks people something that he did something unique. Because let me tell you one thing, na, creativity is not a kind of like a something things that you do different. Creativity means kind of like something do something very different. Okay, yeah. Whatever you do differently. That is called creativity, na. So he was kind of like doing the same thing. Like none of the people who kind of like sit in front of the camera and kind of like doing nothing, he was kind of like doing nothing. Like he was kind of like doing nothing and kind of like sit in front of the camera. Very less people could able to do this thing. he could able to do this thing and he could record that video, upload that on YouTube platform. Is it creativity? I'm gonna tell you my experience, okay, my opinion. Okay, yeah. Is this creativity? Like, do you think that this video is a creativity? No, it's not creativity. Okay, yeah. Why is not creativity? Because creativity means like that na, as an audience feels unique, but it does feel unique. It does feel unique. No one does that thing, he is doing it that. So it's unique in its own category. Like basically is this thing na ki I think that now I am not able to understand, or maybe I'm not able to comprehend that situation that much in detail. Why is that? Because of that key, I never really seen this thing, or maybe my thought process are a bit more different. Okay, different or something like that. Na, as I mentioned, every person thinks very differently. And when every person thinks very differently, every person kind of like a consume piece of information very differently too. Okay, yeah. So this is what it is. When I open my YouTube video, I make sure I kind of like somebody get something value from that video. Okay, yeah. So I documentary video, kind of like a geopolitics video, science video, economics, psychology video, kind of like a things like that, so that I was supposed to get something value. Why do I supposed to spend 10 hours of watching a video where the guy who's kind of like somebody staring at me? It just feels like what kind of like a value am I getting from it? I don't know. Maybe unique, yeah, because he's kind of like doing something unique, but rather than just nothing, probably. Like sometime I most of the time thinks that why the fuck is kind of like only sitting in front of the camera? Okay, yeah, and not doing anything. So it's kind of like a very I don't know. Okay, as I mentioned, a creativity is a kind of like a billion way to execute things and that and that. So yeah. Okay, so is this my niche? Is this my thing? Is this kind of like somebody that particular niche? Well, probably it is. I'm not really sure about that, because it's a basically it's this thing na ki, let me give you the perspective. Okay, it's a very kind of like a difficult to understand. Okay, yeah. 50 years ago, doing a painting, creativity, creating a music, creativity, kind of like somebody do something art form, dancing, creativity. Okay, yeah. It represent unique style, it represent creativity, it represent kind of like something that art. Okay, yeah. Art usually represent creativity. Okay, yeah. Art, like whatever you do, like painting, music, filmmaking, graphic designing, or dancing, or storytelling, or whatever you do, it's a form of art process, it's a form of art. Okay, whatever you have like art, and you could execute that art in kind of like a video format and things and that. Okay, yeah. Art is a very subjective. Okay, yeah. Like basically this thing, painting. Okay, let's take an example. Painting. Okay, yeah. You draw the painting, creativity, right? Yeah. Change the style. Like instead of drawing painting from hand, you are using your mouth to paint. Okay, like you put the mouth in brush, you put the mouth and do this thing. Is it creativity? Unique in itself. Is it creativity? He's painting, yeah. So it's just creativity. Yeah, as I mentioned, it's very hard to it's very hard to kind of like assembly comprehend this thing. Like I was always kind of like thinking that why the fuck is not using his hand? Why he's kind of like assembly doing his painting by kind of like sticking the brush on his mouth and do this thing. I seen a video. I seen a legit video. Okay, yeah. It's unique. I put the like button too. It's very hard to describe what is actually creativity as a okay. Some people did so crazy. Like I just don't know why this is fuck is that thing. Okay, yeah. Okay. I don't know. Is it like a okay? So what? Okay. So this guy, what does he do? He do the same thing. Okay, he was doing a painting. Okay, yeah, but very weird way. Okay, yeah, he put the brush in his ass. Okay, yeah. He ties some sort of belt or things like that so that that brush will stick with his ass. Okay, yeah. And he was doing painting. By the way, I seen the video. Okay, but it's not naked, by the way. He's fully covered, but that butthole is open, and in that butthole, that brush is actually stick. And he was doing painting. Okay, that painting is not that good. Okay, okay, but something, yeah. He draw kind of like a house and kind of like a mountain and kind of like a river from. And he has both legs and hands. Okay, he's doing it that. I am so confused that what is hell is this thing. So as I mentioned, the creativity is unique in itself, because you can't imagine that what does people can do or what does people can execute and things like that. It's just like a so weird, so like I don't know how to supposed to explain this thing. Okay, yeah. So as I mentioned, is this thing that key a specific niche have a kind of like only multiples of hundreds of kind of like assembly types to execute same niche. Yes, there are so many ways, so many ways, so many ways. Okay, you can't even like imagine that where does people imagination kind of like assembly go and things like that. Okay, yeah. But why is this thing happened? Why does kind of like a people not stick with the kind of like assembly the similar pattern and things and that and that? Is because of that a social media is a kind of like assembly built on kind of like assembly that key how unique you are, or maybe how kind of like assembly how unique talent that you have. Okay, yeah. If you hold that unique talent, you grow much bigger. Okay, yeah. If you're not holding that unique talent, then probably you might not that grow. Okay, example, I am a painter. I draw painting from my hand. Painting is a creativity. I draw painting from my hand is a kind of like a standard way, and people are already accepting this thing that it's a form of creativity, this and that and that. Okay, yeah. Now that painter kind of like a make a video regarding about he paint a kind of like Amitabh Bachchan's portrait. Okay, yeah. Is it good? It's really good. It's really good. Do I like that video? I might gonna like that video, but it's not unique in itself. Why? Because there are millions of people do the same thing. Okay, yeah. It's a kind of like a for me. It's a kind of like a, just another video on my YouTube feed, and that's it. Okay, I probably not will gonna remember after that, because everyone do the same thing and that and that. But painting by putting the brush in his hand, putting the brush in his ass and kind of like do this painting, that's a unique. And it's still like I saw this video maybe I don't know maybe a couple of years ago. I still remember and still saying this thing to you, because it is that it kind of like a creates the kind of like some unique value in our mind that people might not forget. So this is what it is. That's why people kind of like do something very different, unique, or maybe I don't know. There is also another kind of like some genre that which is very weird. Okay, yeah. What does he do? He balance things. Okay, now what's the balance thing? Okay, balance thing means what? Like basically, what does he do? He put kind of like some very random material. Like basically, let's take a kind of like somebody this mobile phone. Okay, yeah. So this mobile phone is like a is kind of like a typical mobile phone, right? Yeah. This is my mother mobile phone, by the way. Now, if I try to balance in my hand like this, can I able to do this thing? I can't. I can't. How do I supposed to balance? Can I balance mobile phone like this? I might. Okay, I might gonna balance, but I'm not really good at that. Okay, but that particular person balance the phone like this, and not just phone. He balance things with another phone right here, and they both phone balance. Like, is it art form? I don't know. Is it unique? Yes. Do I like it? Oh my god, I love it. So it's a very weird thing, na? Because as I mentioned, there are billions way to execute the same piece of content. So that is that. Okay. I don't know. Sometimes I just kind of like go beyond things and that and that. Whatever. The question is that is this big niche enough for support at least 100 meaningful content ideas? Now, as I mentioned, 100 meaningful content idea means like a billion way to execute the same piece of content. Okay, yeah. So you can you able to do this thing? Can like basically I have to be asked this question that ki I make a piece of content, okay, about specific niche. Can I able to execute 100 meaningful idea from it with the same piece of content? If you still not really understanding this thing, let's just take a kind of like a box. Imagine a box, shoe box, baby. Yeah, and this is the kind of like a boundary that you have. Let's just say I am a comedian, and this is a box is my kind of like a boundary. Okay, yeah. Like basically, if I go here, it all comedy. Okay, yeah. But beyond this box is not comedy because it not kind of like a different. It became different. Okay, example is this thing that ki let's just say uh, Kunal Kamra. Okay, Kunal Kamra is a really good example. Okay, yeah. So Kunal Kamra do the comedy. Okay, yeah, and suddenly he kind of like somebody do something very different. Like he went out of the box and kind of like somebody started doing political statement. Okay, yeah. Is it wrong? It's not wrong, but it's different. Is it unique? Probably for me because I know Kunal Kamra is a comedian, but right now he is kind of like doing this political statement. Is it wrong? I don't know. Am I able to will I able to see his piece of content, a political content? I would not. Why? Because every person creates a kind of like somebody a particular kind of like somebody particular kind of like somebody space in our head. Okay, yeah. I imagine Zakir Khan can make a comedy video. He will not gonna kind of like make a video regarding about tech. If Zakir Khan make tech video, will I able to watch? I might gonna watch, but it's very hard for me to accept or consume this information because I watch Zakir Khan video as a comedy video, and my head has a space, and that space is filled with Zakir Khan made a comedy video. Still, when Zakir Khan made a kind of like a tech video, it's very like a out of the box for me. Like a, basically for me, I cannot able to put inside that box because this box represents Zakir Khan make comedy video, but he's not making comedy video. He's making kind of like a somebody let's just say tech video. So it's out of that box. I might gonna watch, but it feel weird. It feel weird. Okay, yeah. This is what it is. Okay, this is called box. Okay, get it? Now, basically, is this thing. Every creator has this box. Okay, like my box is that ki graphic designing, poster making, visual storytelling. Okay, yeah. So basically, is this thing. I can make a short video about this particular piece of content. Okay, yeah. I try to execute piece of poster regarding about something. Okay, yeah. Or I have to make a poster regarding about something using Photoshop or maybe Gemini or things like that and that. Right? If I do something very different, example, this is my box, na? I kind of like make a poster. This is my box. Next, I kind of like make a dance video of myself. Like basically, I kind of like shoot the camera. I kind of like started doing dancing. It's very weird. Like basically, my genre is a poster design, na? Why do I kind of like somebody is this thing that keep like basically out of the box? Why am I kind of like doing dancing? Is it for me? It's not weird because I love dancing, but I might not share that skill to someone else. Okay, yeah. But let's just say millions of people who have following, they knew I designed the poster, but suddenly I'm doing dance. It's people feel weird. People feel like that key, right? Yeah, get it. So it is that. It's not meant to be that key. You can't do this thing. Okay, yeah. You can do this thing to create another channel. Okay, yeah. Like let's just say that let's just say Dhruv Rathi video, make a video regarding about like a science, politics, geopolitics, things and that and that. Suddenly he started doing dancing. He cannot able to be upload his dancing video on Dhruv Rathi channel. Why? Because obviously his channel he belongs to, but the audience are not into that thing. So if you have love dancing and you wanted to execute that dance in front of the hundreds of million, but you already have following, don't post here, post different, create another channel. Okay, yeah. and that channel might represent to the specific group of people who love dancing, things and that. Okay, yeah, so get it. So basically in YouTube, okay, in social media platform, you have this box. You cannot go beyond that box. You can go beyond that box while create another box of yourself and then do this thing. Okay, yeah, do not mix your things. That is social media kind of like assembly. Understand why does that thing happen? Is because of that key. Social media knows what you are and what kind of like a video that you are, so that it can very easy for them to recommend your video to someone else, or maybe the person who kind of like wanted to watch your video and things and that, right? So it is for kind of like a very easy to things and that. Whatever, I'm kind of like only telling the same thing. So basically this thing, the question is actually arise that key, with your same box, okay, yeah, can you create 100 meaningful content idea from your box? Obviously yes. Okay, yeah, I can make hundreds of poster design. I can make a kind of like some hundreds of ideas regarding about the psychology, the business, the economics, there are so many things. I can make the poster of so many stuff and things and that. It's unlimited. Okay, there is no limit at all. As I mentioned, creativity has a billions of way to execute things and that. So it is that. Okay, so right. So I found there is hundreds of ideas so that I would execute my same niche of content without kind of like going to the box and things and that. Why this question should supposed to be asked is because of that key. It should supposed to be understand that key, whatever the content that you make sure that content should supposed to be in the box or should supposed to be in the category of that particular stuff, right? So it is kind of like a really essential for you to as a content creation, so that you could execute your piece of content, as well as YouTube or social media find out that what kind of like a content that you make, and it kind of like a recommend to the more and more people, because yeah, right? So yeah, all right. I kind of like understand this question very much properly, because I think I might, but I think I might not. This is the niche big enough to support at least 100 meaningful content idea? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I am completely truly agree with that thing. All right, this is it.